I'm Ashley Turner, 28, sitting at the family dinner table in our Tucson home, fork in hand, as I glance at my sister's wedding invitation. Tomorrow's her big day, and I'm thrilled, dress ready, toast rehearsed. Mom, I'm so excited for the wedding tomorrow, I say, my voice full of energy. She freezes her glass, clinking against the plate. Ashley, she whispers, avoiding my eyes. It was last week. My heart pounds, breath catching short. The invitation slips from my fingers, hitting the table with a thud. I grab it back. The date screams tomorrow. What do you mean? I snap, my tone sharp and unsteady. She stammers. We printed the wrong date. It's over. Blood rushes in my ears. My family, mom, dad, my sister, deceived me to keep me out. I recall the thousands I've shelled out for them. My sister's failed ventures. Their trips while they sidelined me. My resolve steals fury building. I won't plead. I won't break. Something shifts inside me. They used me like a wallet and discarded me. But they'll soon discover I'm not that disposable. Ever been blindsided by your own family's betrayal? Drop your experiences in the comments. Let's connect over these tough stories. Later that night, I sat in my downtown Tucson condo staring at the invitation. Its fancy lettering taunted me, each curve a stab of my family's deceit. How could they pull this off? Mom, dad, my sister scheming to shut me out. My thoughts raced back to the years I'd been their lifeline, always stepping up, always handing over cash. 4 years ago, my sister Samantha Turner, 32, started her fashion boutique. She dreamed big, chic displays, upscale customers, but her launch flopped when a supplier ghosted her, sticking her with $15,000 in debt. Her call came at 2 a.m., voice trembling, pleading for a bailout. I'll repay you soon, she promised. I transferred the funds right away, no hesitation. She never brought it up again, not even a simple thanks. I let it slide, figuring that's family. Then came mom and dad's place. Last year, their suburban Tucson house needed major fixes, cracked walls, faulty wiring. $25,000 they claimed, or it'd fall apart. I dipped into my event planning savings to cover it, pulling from long hours coordinating corporate galas. Dad grumbled a quick appreciation. Mom just shrugged. I hoped it'd strengthen our bond. Mistake. They skipped inviting me to their summer barbecues, those lively events where friends shared laughs over drinks. You're swamped with work. Mom would text, her words clipped. Swamped or unwanted. Worst was last Easter. I drove 2 hours to surprise them, only to find the door locked, no one home. We're at a friend's, Samantha messaged, no details. I stood there, keys in hand, feeling like a stranger. I'd bankrolled their comforts, debts, repairs, even their getaway to Sedona. Yet I was the outsider, summoned for bills but ignored for joys. Samantha even posted pics from that Sedona trip on social media, flaunting the luxury as her own achievement, never mentioning my contribution. Her followers praised her success, while I scrolled in silence, the real enabler behind it all. Those posts burned now, each like a fresh wound. I'd been their fixer, their funder, but never truly part. My phone vibrated, pulling me from the spiral. It was Megan Ellis, my Aunt 38, a graphic designer who'd always stood by me. Ashley, are you all right? She asked, concern thick in her tone. I spilled everything about the invitation, my voice cracking. She exhaled heavily. I spilled everything about the invitation, my voice cracking. She exhaled heavily. I hated to break it to you, but they orchestrated it. Samantha pushed for it, saying your event planning career and poise would steal her thunder. Mom agreed without a fight. Megan's revelation hit like a punch, each detail slicing deeper. My sister, the one I'd rescued from debt, viewed me as a threat to her spotlight. And Mom, who'd accepted my money for their house, went along. I paced the condo, the desert nightlights glowing outside. Every overlooked message, every cutting comment about my busy schedule replayed clearer. I'd been their ATM, their problem solver, but never on equal footing. Megan stayed on the call, her words firm. You don't deserve this, Ashley. What's your next move? I halted, catching my reflection in the glass, strong, unyielding. They figured they could erase me from her perfect event. Okay, I'd prove I wasn't just their safety net. I'd demonstrate who truly called the shots. The following morning, I drove my sedan to my parents' house. My grip tight on the wheel, pulse racing from Megan's disclosures. The truth had stripped away their facade. I wasn't going to beg. I needed them to confront their actions. I pulled into the driveway, the single-story home, a calm front for the confrontation ahead. This was about accountability. I knocked firmly, the sound echoing. Heather Turner, my mom 58, answered, her face paling. Ashley, what brings you here so early? She asked, her pitch strained. I stepped inside to the family room where Joshua Turner, my dad 62, lounged with his newspaper brows lifting. Samantha lounged on the armchair, thumbing her tablet. They all paused as I stood there, posture rigid, eyes fixed on them. Why did you fake the date to bar me from the wedding? I demanded, my voice steady as iron. Samantha's gaze shot up, narrowing. Mom, began Ashley. Maybe we should, but I interrupted. No, you deliberately misled me. Tension thickened the air. Dad folded his paper, looking away. Samantha set her tablet down, straightening. Fine, she snapped, defiance in her tone. I didn't want you there. Your job, your assurance, you always dominate. It was my moment, not yours. Her admission cut raw, stinging fresh. The sister I'd saved financially now claimed I'd overshadow her. I've handed you everything I said, keeping my pitch controlled. And this is how you repay. Mom moved between us, expression set. Ashley, you're so self-reliant. It highlights our shortcomings. Samantha needed her day. Her words twisted like a blade. Dad remained quiet, his avoidance speaking volumes. I faced him. Dad, you allowed this? He fidgeted, murmuring. It's complicated. Complicated. They'd cut me from a celebration I'd geared up for, and he offered nothing. Every instance I'd been their anchor, cash, effort, devotion flashed by. They'd grabbed it all, then shoved me aside as if I meant zero. My hands trembled slightly, but I held my voice level. Shouting wouldn't sway them. I'm finished as your backup, I stated, staring straight at Samantha. She smirked, crossing her arms. You're overreacting, she shot back. Mom nodded, her tone gentling. We're blood, Ashley. No need for this to escalate. But it had escalated. They'd crossed a boundary, seeing me as a resource, not kin. I scanned them, Samantha's smug look, Mom's feigned composure, a dad's evasion, and spotted no remorse, just excuses. I turned toward the doorsteps, measured. This isn't finished, I said, fingers on the handle. Samantha let out a sharp laugh. What, you'll force us to regret it? She taunted. Mom extended a hand, urging Ashley, let's discuss. I didn't glance back. They expected I'd fold as usual, but no more. I'd forged my career, my resilience without their nod. They'd misjudged me, banking on my compliance. As I exited, the Arizona sun hit sharp on my skin, clarity washing over. They'd leaned on my foundation. Now they'd feel its absence. The next day, I was at my office in central Tucson, rifling through a file. Samantha's brazen confession, Mom's justification, Dad's quiet complicity had solidified my stance. No wallowing for me. I possessed leverage they never anticipated. I laid out the papers on my desk, their solidity centering me, and dialed Megan. She answered promptly. Ashley, how'd it go? She inquired, worry evident. I didn't mince words. 6 years back, Mom and Dad hit a rough patch. Credit card piles, poor investments. They risked losing their vacation home in Oro Valley. I purchased it for $150,000 from my savings. It's in my name, all legal. Megan inhaled sharply. You hold the Oro Valley property, she echoed, astonishment clear. They kept mum about it. Precisely, I replied, edge in my voice. I permitted them to use it rent-free for family's sake. After this wedding stunt, I'm through as their mat. Megan's response grew intense. Ashley, that's your holding. They've exploited you plenty. Safeguard it. Her backing fortified me like armor. My family had presumed my generosity endless, but this property drew my boundary. I wrapped the call and contacted Amber Adams, my lawyer, 42 sharp in contract disputes. She showed up at my office soon after Satchel snapping open. Show me, she directed, focus keen. I passed the folder titles, agreements, evidence of my buy. She scanned through, face neutral initially. This holds up, she affirmed, waving the title. Full ownership, no liens. They lack any right. My tension eased a fraction. They treat it as theirs, I noted. Occupying it, leveraging it. Amber locked eyes, unwavering. Legally, squatters at most. To claim it, I can draft claims now. Eviction, if required. Her certainty grounded me. I'd invested years in them funds, time, faith, only to be marginalized. This home was my counter, my reclaim. Prep the docs, I instructed. Make it bulletproof. She jotted notes, agreeing. Drafts by dawn. As Amber departed, Megan texted. Ashley, word is Samantha's been showcasing that Oro Valley spot to her clients, claiming it's hers. I clutched the file, tension rising. Samantha parading my asset to bolster her faltering shop, the same sister who'd barred me to stand out. Another blow atop their treachery. She'll learn shortly, I muttered, resolve low. Megan didn't hesitate. You're justified. Don't let them twist you back. I rose, approaching my office window. The city buzzed beneath, yet my path sharpened. That Oro Valley home wasn't mere structure. It embodied my concessions, my overtime nights, my belief in undeserving kin. Samantha's arrogance, Mom's rationales, Dad's hush. They assumed I'd persist in yielding and absolving. Error. I'd constructed my existence, my profession, minus their aid. These papers were my tool, and I stood prepared to deploy it. They'd sidelined me, but I'd ensure they grasped I wasn't vanished. A week passed before I sat in Amber's office penning signatures on a pile of forms. My family's duplicity had scarred me, but I was severing every exploited link. Today marked reclaiming my control. Amber Adams, my lawyer, hovered close, her steady demeanor anchoring me as I reclaimed autonomy. She slid another folder my way. These terminate the shared account you set with your parents ages ago, she explained straightforward. The $10,000 loan Samantha secured, it's shifted to Heather and Joshua Turner's names. Their responsibility now, not yours. I signed steadily, each stroke deliberate. That account intended for their tough times had turned into their drain on me. Not anymore. My phone glowed with a text from Samantha. Ashley, sorry. Can we chat? I eyed the screen, her message hollow. She'd plotted my exclusion, mocked me during the showdown. I dismissed it, refocusing on the documents. Amber caught it, gaze piercing. No obligation to reply, she advised. Prioritize your shield. I agreed, her guidance steadying. She flipped to another page. This bars your family from your finances and holdings, she noted. Your reserves, your investments, sealed off. Her confirmation built a barrier against their avarice. For years, I'd settled their tabs, mended their errors, even managed taxes on the Oro Valley home they leased for gain. They'd stashed the rental earnings while I bore the upkeep, expecting no pushback. Today ended that. Amber continued crisp. The debt shift is watertight. Mispayments, their issue. I envisioned Samantha's smirk, Mom's pleas, Dad's mutters. They'd deemed my aid their entitlement, renting my property, while relying on me for maintenance. They'll manage alone, I affirmed, tone resolute. Amber organized the sign sheets. You're fully detached now, Ashley. No entry points. Another message from Samantha pinged. Please, I regret hurting you. Fix this. My thumb hovered, but I ignored it. Her plea rang false, a scramble since I'd halted the game. I flipped the phone face down, letting Amber's voice draw me back. Your fiscal setup is locked, she said. No joint obligations left. A burden I'd shouldered being their crutch, their vault began easing. This transcended money. It reclaimed my existence. Amber stowed her notes. Any challenges, we're equipped, she assured, eyes firm. You command now. A calm authority settled within. My family had wagered on my leniency, my quiet, anticipating collapse. Each signature defied that. I directed my success, my steadiness, amid their profits from my labor. No further. As I exited Amber's office, forms secured my phone, buzzed once more. Samantha again, Ashley. Don't sever us like this. I swiped it away, unhesitating. She believed remorse would reel me in, bind me to their demands. But I was done. They'd utilized my property's lease income, my funds, my faith, viewing me as exploitable. Now, with links snapped, I freed them to confront their decision's fallout. 3 weeks on, Megan rang with updates on my family. I was home nursing T, the recent strain lingering. Financial detachment had set my limit and waves were crashing. Megan's voice edged tight. Ashley, Samantha's in hot water, she reported. She dropped a $40,000 style deal. She and Daniel are hustling for bills. I reclined unsurprised. Samantha's boutique teetered, always upheld by my infusions, until I withdrew. They're squeezed, Megan added. Daniel's scouting clients, but prospects dim. I placed my cup down, a stark satisfaction rooting. They'd depended on me excessively. My phone rang that afternoon. Daniel Klein, Samantha's husband, 30, Ashley. I owe you a deep apology, he said, his voice subdued. I didn't know Samantha schemed to exclude you from the wedding. I assumed you couldn't attend. His candor surprised me, but it didn't melt my guard. Daniel, you're her spouse, I replied evenly. You missed the signs of her deception. He hesitated, then admitted I should have probed. I'm truly sorry. I stayed silent, letting the quiet convey my stance. His regret seemed genuine, but it altered nothing. They'd all gained from my omission. Later, an email from Mom Heather Turner appeared. Subject: Ashley, please. I glared at the display, her name evoking her defenses in our clash. I trashed it, unread, my determination solid. She'd justified, Samantha brushed off my hurt. Her outreach now was mere ploy to drag me into their chaos. I refused to yield. Megan called that evening, her pitch somber. More intel, she said. Your family's spreading talk in the neighborhood, claiming you're self-centered, ditching them for your career. My muscles tensed, rage igniting. Self-centered. After years of salvaging their messes, footing their debts, their taxes, their blunders, they were framing me as the antagonist to preserve their image. Folks are questioning, Megan noted. Some swallow it, others doubt. It's brewing chatter. I gripped the phone, the betrayal's bite deepening. Unable to dominate me, they aim to tarnish my rep. I paced the room. The smears stung, yet they sharpened reality. My family wasn't merely ungrateful, they were frantic to deflect fault. Samantha's lost deal, Daniel's belated remorse, Mom's email, all patchwork. They thought guilt slander would crack me. But I'd cultivated my life, my standing, sans their input. Their fabrications wouldn't dismantle that. Megan's tone softened. You're tougher than this, Ashley. Don't let their rumors rattle you. Her encouragement was an anchor, affirming I wasn't isolated. I considered the locals, acquaintances, peers, allies who'd known me long. Some might buy the lies, but others recognized my integrity. My family's utterances were clamor, not fact. I'd confront the murmurs upright, allowing their deeds to expose them. They'd undervalued me, expecting I'd shatter under strain. But I was finished bearing their load. They'd sown falsehoods. Now they'd harvest the outcomes. A month later, I was mid-meeting when security buzzed. My stomach dropped as they reported my family downstairs, insisting on seeing me. I excused myself and descended to the lobby of my central Tucson office, steeling for the impending storm. Mom stood with Dad and Megan by the desk. Mom's eyes rimmed red, Dad's expression vacant, Megan's features taut. Ashley, we must talk. Mom implored voice, quivering. We're remorseful. Can we mend? I folded my arms, impassive. Their pleas struck as desperate gambit, not authenticity. Dad advanced, tone hushed. We never aimed to wound you, he murmured. Let's move past. I shook my head, their phrases too rehearsed, too tardy. Megan, mute till then, met my stare, eyes probing. Ashley, they dragged me here, she disclosed. Hoped I'd sway you. I valued Megan, but I wouldn't bend. I pulled my phone, accessing a video Samantha accidentally sent months prior, her wedding, deliberately omitting me. Megan, witness this, I urged, pressing play. The clip showed Samantha chuckling, clinking glasses with attendees, quipping, glad Ashley's absent to hog the limelight. Megan's complexion drained, hand over mouth. She orchestrated it. Megan breathed, pivoting to Mom and Dad. You knew. Mom averted gaze. Dad stayed mute, their culpability evident. Mom's voice broke. Ashley, please. We're struggling. Allow us the Oro Valley home temporarily. I stared, astounded. They'd leased my Oro Valley asset for years, pocketing profits as I covered taxes and fixes. Now finances crumbling, they sought refuge there. No, I declared, tone icy. That property's mine. You've extracted enough. Megan edged nearer, voice resolute. Ashley's correct, she asserted, confronting Mom and Dad. You deceived her, yet demand more. Her alliance bolstered my fortitude. Mom's eyes teared. We're kin, she begged. Don't proceed. But her appeals rebounded. Kin didn't conspire, deceive, exploit for years, then implore when convenient. Dad attempted anew, gentler. We can resolve, Ashley. Regretful. I shook my head, the video echoing in mind. Samantha's chuckle. Mom's hush. Dad's involvement. You'd picked sides ages ago. Face your choices, I said. I signaled the security head standing by. Please show them out, I requested. He nodded, motioning to the exit. Mom's plea rose frantic. Ashley, don't bar us. But I walked off, Megan trailing. In my office, she clasped my arm. You handled right, she affirmed. That video proof they merit none of you. I nodded, chest constricted. The community might murmur, credit their deceptions, but truth resided with me. They'd strive to fracture me, steer me, utilize me. I directed my life sans them, my vocation, my fortitude, my serenity. Their apologies vacant, their entreaties futile. I wasn't their fallback any longer. They'd navigate without my cover. 6 months later, I stood on the patio of my Oro Valley home, the desert breeze carrying a sense of liberation I'd fought for through grueling trials. My life was now mine, molded by my decisions, free from my family's burdens. My event planning career had soared, a recent advancement put me leading high-profile conferences. My skills sharpened to precision. Megan and Amber, my reliable supporters, had become my core, appreciating me for myself, not my handouts. During brunch last week, Megan's smile was contagious. You're unstoppable, Ashley. Amber's affirmation warmed me. You've created something unbreakable. Their encouragement fueled me, evidence of the power I'd gained by standing firm. Yesterday, an invite came for Mom and Dad's milestone party. Heather and Joshua Turner, clinging to their illusion of unity, had requested my presence. I discarded it without response, sealing the rift. No gestures, no ties. Their bid to reel me back failed. I'd propped them up for years, only to be cast aside. That chapter closed tight. Megan relayed details of my family's downfall. Samantha and Daniel had relocated to a cramped rental, their funds evaporating after Samantha forfeited another major contract. Their network shrank as associates distanced themselves. Mom and Dad endured their own fallout, their standing marred by their own falsehoods. They'd reaped from leasing my Oro Valley place, depended on me endlessly, then circulated lies when I withdrew. Now they stood exposed in the repercussions. I leaned against the railing, surveying the horizon. Their deeds had costs, and I no longer served as their shield. Samantha's plots, Mom's maneuvers, Dad's reticence, they'd sought to confine me, to diminish me. But I'd uncovered my worth. I'd invested my essence in a family that undervalued it, a misstep I'd avoid forever. My residence, my profession, my existence, they were mine, honed through resolve. As the vista expanded ahead, a serene calm enveloped me. The ache of their deceit persisted, but it no longer bound me. Megan's cheer from our recent chat echoed. Amber's reliable advice steadied me. I was encircled by uplifters, not drainers. My family's egoism had cost them their circle, their security. I'd chosen self-yielding freedom. This path revealed a core truth. Your value isn't in what others extract, it's in what you build. I'd permitted my family to shape me too long, but no further. Their betrayal unveiled their essence and unleashed my capability. To those tuning in, absorb this. Don't permit anyone to eclipse your glow, to ignite theirs. Hold steady, claim your worth, and let wrongdoers confront their fallout. I did, and it transformed all. Thank you for listening to my story. Please share your thoughts below and consider subscribing to the channel for more tales of resilience and renewal.